Welcome back to Rock Tie. We're your hosts, Michelle,
Amanda.
Sarah.
and today we're going to be talking about the show Cutie Pie and just give some of our ideas about it. So first, I'm just going to read what Cutie Pie is about from my drama list. So Leon and Kitten are bound by a family promise to an arranged marriage. Kitten, a free-spirited musician, hopes for romance, but Leon, a cool businessman, initially rejects him. Leon coldly dismisses it has his different name and now it's starting me off. Leon coldly dismisses Kitten and denies any love for him, prompting him to suggest ending the engagement. However, Leon refuses to break the promise he made to his grandfather and attempts to win him back. As he does, he starts to question if his feelings are developing or if he's always loved him. Dun dun dun.
This series is a
I
headache.
really I haven't rewatched it as much as some other series, but like when it was on air, I really liked it.
This series, I watched it for like the second leads.
Oh, really?
I
Hey,
loved
look, the
like
second leads
the
are good.
Anunu, but like I love Tutor You in
Mm-hmm.
the series, and I love they were so cute in this series. But we'll talk about them later and focus.
Well, this
But
series is the one that introduced me because I had never seen. I think it came out around the time I had started watching like BLs and stuff. So I had never seen any of these shows, and it was Nunu's first show. It was my first Max and Nat show. First, like, so it's the show that introduced me to. It's the basically introduced me to Demundi and all of them.
mm, yeah. but that's that like summary that you just read was basically a good summary because he does reject them. I
Yeah.
remember. And I'm just like, bro, I thought you liked him. And I'm just like, it pisses me off. And then, you
Mm-hmm.
know how Nunu, the whole series, was like living like this double life of
Yeah.
like Kua and Keating. And I'm just like, and then he knew. What's his name?
The
Z's
whole time.
character.
Yeah.
He knew the whole time. And I'm just like, why didn't you tell him? And then in the last episode, you guys need to talk about because I have opinions when he proposes.
Well, I think it's funny, like when they're kissing, like after they're kissing at the club and then they're kissing at the house, whatever, and then he realizes, like, Nunu's character's like, wait a second, you were the guy I was kissing when I was drunk in the back of the car. And he's just like, yeah, that was me.
This couple, I feel like, did not communicate anything.
Oh no.
And I'm just,
There was very much lack of communication in this series.
yes, yes.
There are some tropes that I love and some that I hate. And I feel like this show relied on some of the ones I dislike a lot. Like the weird lack of communication was one of them, where I'm like, I don't know. It's probably different if you're watching it from week to week. But if you
Mhm.
binge watch it after it's out, it it feels frustrating.
Oh no, even week to week it was frustrating because it was like, if you guys just talk, like if you just explain the fact that like you're trying to be this perfect person, obviously he doesn't like that. He's calling you Annabelle. Like, and then
Mhm.
you're over here knowing that he has a second life and you're like, oh, but then why are you calling him Annabelle if you know he's not like this robot? Because you know he has a second life. So you're just manipulating him.
And I know he was waiting for like him to like
Tell
tell
him,
him
yeah.
himself, but I'm just like, don't do that. Like, just tell
Like,
him you. I know.
yeah, you could have led the conversation a little bit.
Yeah. One of the other tropes I hate is the age difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just it bothers me, I guess, because sometimes I don't know, I don't like it. I don't
What?
want to go into like why, but I don't like it. And then it's extra frustrating for me when they're using that trope. One of them is significantly younger and immature, and you know embodies this like childlike quality to him. And then there's the older, mature, has his life together one. And like, if you're using that trope and this guy is supposed to be mature and have his life together, why does he suck at communicating? Like, he should, if he has his shit together, he should be able to communicate. He should better understand his feelings, or like something feels off with that dynamic of him being the like, I don't know, older, mature one. Like, clearly he's
See,
not.
Yeah, and he's never been with anybody because they've been engaged since he was little. Like
Mm-hmm.
they both have. So I don't know. So it didn't bother me. The age difference didn't bother me as much with them as it did with Max and Nat's character because Nat seemed so much like I know he's supposed to be the same age as Nunu's character, but his character just seemed so much younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
Well, I
I don't
think
even feel like you guys like each other.
with Nat's character, I feel like he tends to play characters that are dumb. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's intentional or why that happens, but I feel like that makes him seem younger too because he just seems so dumb.
Yeah, and then I don't know if it didn't help the way that they were having him dressed. It was kind of like with like
Mm-hmm.
when girls dress in like little pigtails, like
Mm-hmm.
how do you say infantilizing? However,
Yeah.
Infantilize.
yeah, that's how it felt. Like they had him dressing as like a little schoolboy sometimes, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, and then like I said, it didn't even feel like they didn't go into. I read more about like how their relationship was supposed to be in the books or whatever, and like why he lived with him, but they didn't do as much in the show. I feel like about what like I don't.
They might have saved it for the spin-off.
Yeah, but still, like at that point,
Yeah. It was
Mm-hmm.
weird. I mean, to me,
like it felt like Max didn't even like him, like Max's character.
And the whole thing that for their relationship, he's like, "Oh, I feel bad because he has this trauma, and I can't like him because I caused him this pain." I'm just like, he clearly likes you back. Like, oh God,
Yeah.
it was this relationship that was like, oh my gosh, you're making them suffer for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And
it's a
I'm
lot of dragging someone along
just,
while you don't know how you feel or can't admit how you feel, but like they're just on hold waiting.
mm-hmm.
It's like playing mind games, playing with their heart. It's frustrating.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really like their relationship out of like the three couples that we had.
Yeah, they were my least favorite.
My least favorite, and it was mainly because of the top.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
thought
cute
I thought
overall.
as friends, they made good like uh Nunu's character and Nat's character. They like had a good I liked Nunu's friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it was like I liked that they supported him. I like that if that's what he wanted, if he wanted to be with Z and he wanted to like respect that relationship, they were like, hey, this is just how he is. This is his relationship. Like back off to the like, new people. Like
Yeah, his friends
like
group,
that they supported him. Yeah.
very good.
But it's funny too to see because even Z and Max's characters, I felt like had a decent relationship where they like communicated, and I'm like, how can you communicate with your friend
Mm-hmm.
and talk about these feelings and relationships with your friend and not the other person in the relationship?
Exactly. But I don't know. Can I talk about the proposal? Because I feel like that's something that like because I feel like who proposes on their father's birthday? First of all, I don't. Who does that? It's like the thought that came to my mind is imagine you're getting married and they propose at your wedding. That's the same energy I got, and I'm just like, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Or like somebody announces they're pregnant at your baby shower.
Exactly. You see that energy? I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
bro. And then the fact that he said no, I'm just like, now you're embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they fixed it, but I'm just like, it was that same energy that I'm just like, it just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least y'all fixed it up, all that understanding, misunderstanding. Yeah. So I'm just like, that proposal, oh,
Yeah, I
It
felt
was
weirded
haunts
out
me.
by
the
that too.
cringe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, everybody's already here. There's already a party. That's kind of what it felt like. Like, may as well take advantage.
Yeah. I'm just like, no, no. But,
I
yeah.
mean, is that just like is it the character, like, is that necessary for the story development, or is it just like a male character acting like a man?
I feel like it's
Like,
the second one.
because it
Yeah.
like it shows no thought, no consideration for the other person in the relationship, no like, I don't know, awareness of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyway, I like the ending whenever Nunu was the one trying to propose and he was just avoiding it. All the
Hmm.
proposals. I'm like, that's so cute. Yeah.
there were a lot of things in the show that I didn't like, and a lot of tropes and things that I didn't like. But one of the things I really did like is that the like, I don't know if I could call it this, the traditional like bottom in the relationship had manly hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the things that I really love about that show, because I feel like so many shows like try to put queer relationships into, this is the like man and this is the woman, even though they're both men or they're both women.
Hmm.
And like it just feels like the personality and the hobbies and the friend, like all these features represent a different gender. And they were like, no, they're both men. They both like manly stuff.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things, like watching it, I was like, thank you. You can, you know, you could still like motorcycles, you could still like rock music, you can still like things that are traditionally masculine or whatever.
Mhm.
Nunu's voice, like the songs and all the songs in the show, they were so good.
Yeah. Uh,
Like when he'd get on stage, I'd be like, I'm seated. I'm ready.
yes.
Give it to me.
Was yes, I love that.
Mm.
Okay. So the other thing, Boon Prem.
Showing up that one episode.
Yeah. See, and I didn't know who they were at first, so I was like, that's random that they're okay. First, I was like, that's random that there's this random couple. Now that I know who they are, it's more random because they're in it for like a scene. And I don't know if you noticed, like their scene, I feel like they shot a really tiny clip and then they left and then they like used that same clip. They just copy pasted it again because they make the same exact movements and like they say the same thing that they say in one scene, like a couple minutes later. The state like, and I'm like, so did you just like they just like you can only afford them for 2 lines or something? Like,
Well, and it's funny to me that I want to know how that happened, because they were with a different company.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, they're not like tight friends outside of filming. So it feels like a random choice.
I feel wasn't Boone and Z in something together? Weren't they in like boyfriends or something?
I
Or
don't
your
know.
boyfriend or I feel like they were in a group together.
So I don't know that
I
part.
was
So to me, I'm
shocked.
like, of all the like people, like that feels random.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a reason, that would be super interesting to know. Because I was like, I mean, I loved seeing them there. I love that.
Me too. I
But
was just like,
it seemed weird. It seemed out of place.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Boone and him were in Rose in the House, whatever. Be
Mm-hmm.
My Boyfriends. Be My Boyfriends. They were like a group band thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was the timing of that compared to this?
Rose in the House aired in 2022. So I think it aired after. Was it after? Rose in the House aired probably around the same time as Cutie Pie, but that was the second one. I don't know. They were still doing stuff as Be My Boyfriend. I think it was around the same time.
But I have an unpopular opinion about Tudor's character because I feel like he kind of came out of nowhere.
What do you mean he
And
came out of nowhere?
yeah, and then like I feel like he just came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden he played like this role of I don't know. He came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I like you, but I didn't really like him until he got together with like Sin, and like they started having their moments, and I'm just like, wait, I'm living for this. I'm gonna continue the series for them. Because
So
like I
was
feel like,
that was their first show together?
mm-hmm.
'Cause I love them.
Right? I feel like the way they would look at each other and it's just like their little interactions. I feel like that's something I liked, and I'm just like, yes, I need more.
So there is a clip I saw recently of the band that they're in now. There's like a boy band with like 5 guys from that company, and it has both of them. And it was like, here's all the single ones leaving the stage, and then it was like, here's Tudor Yim leaving the stage, like on each other's backs or something. Yep,
Was the boy band the one that has James?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I don't know if that group was an actual group or if it was just for the show, but it was like Be My Boyfriend something. I don't know.
Mm.
I just remember they were doing like a concert for it and Nunu was in the crowd and they're like, "Oh, your fans here." And they were all making fun of him. I think like they did really good off of that show too. Z and Nunu.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really like shot them up pretty good. And that was around the time that what Ken Porsche was airing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken Porsche was getting all this like, oh, it was so steamy and spicy and like had all these NC scenes. But Cutie Pie had some NC scenes too.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a different type of storyline.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, they had some. I remember when one of the scenes first came out, I was like, oh my God,
I
this
was
is just
like,
on my
oh.
TV. What, last night I finally watched that episode of The Next Prince. And I'm watching it on my iPad, and my wife's playing video games, and she looks over, she goes, wow, that's so gay. And I was like, oh, because she looked over at the exact scene, like when they're in bed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why would you look over now? You couldn't look over when they're like doing archery.
Uh, now that you're talking about the next birds, I'm just thinking about. No, we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
I love Zinunu though.
I do like him.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fascinating to do a little bit of research on the show and how it impacted their careers and things like that. Because I mean, it's not my favorite show, but it does seem like it really shot them into the limelight. And I would be interested to see like what the viewership was and like how that was impacted by other things that were airing or changes in the BL industry at the time and things like that. Because like they are one of the more famous couples. I don't feel like they've been in all that much.
Well, that was Nunu's first show.
It was. Mm-hmm.
And has he really been in anything since, like besides
I
Next
think he
Prince?
had like a guest role in the like side one that was the Max Nat story.
Yeah, but he hasn't been besides The Next Prince, he hasn't really been in anything outside of like the Cutie Pie universe, right? Cutie Pie 2, Cutie and the Max Nat one.
So you're
I think
right.
he's been doing a lot of like his singing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So really, most of his fame came from this one show and then people waiting years for the next Prince.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, because I remember when Cutie Pie was airing, like people were excited about it because the preview had looked good. And then when it came out, like it was, and the fact that it was airing on, they were airing the unedited version, like uncut, unedited on YouTube. So anybody could watch it. And then, like it was trending every weekend or every week. It was like popular. And then they just started getting shows. I remember reading somewhere that the popularity of it helped fund a lot of the next stuff that Domundi had like lined up. Like it just,
That was chemistry. I feel like
yeah.
also the way they
And
trust each other, and you could just see it very natural, very flowing. I feel like
and then
sounds like.
yeah, then it didn't like it helped, I think, like everything that was happening with Z and Nunu around that same time probably helped. Like, they were going on, like, Zia was taking him out on dates every time he would reach a milestone follower count on Instagram. He'd be like, "Oh, you reached your 100,000. Like, let's go on a date." Like, celebrating all his little things. And then they would, like, post it. And so everybody was like, "Oh my God." Or, like, when they went to that one, like, resort for, like,
Is this when the bed broke?
what? I don't know if it's when the bed broke. I know they were giving a tour of, like, their room, and the bathtub was, like, in the middle of the room. And everybody's like, "How the heck?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like just an assumption, I feel like it's because they were one of those couples where it doesn't feel like too fan service,
Yeah.
quote unquote. Yeah.
It feels like they were just,
yeah.
like, we were getting to see them getting to know each other and everything too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there was the stories, like, that they picked each other, and that Z had been Nunu's, like, idol that he looked up to.
And so people like that, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's why they're really popular.
It was like a mixing of a whole bunch of good things that worked together to, like.
What would you rate the show in your own personal, based on what you?
When I first watched it, or now?
Both.
Both.
When I first watched it, there was a lot of things that annoyed me about it, but overall I was like, "Oh, it's like an 8 to 9." Like, I really enjoyed it. But, like, looking back, like I said, I haven't rewatched it as much as I rewatched other shows, and like, it took me forever to get through Cutie Pie 2.
Yeah.
So maybe like a 7.
Okay. You, Amanda?
Oh no. It is one of my less preferred. It's one of my less preferred. I would say like a 5 to 6.
That's not that bad. What would you say?
Same.
5, 6.
5, 6.
Yeah. Like I
You
said,
know, it's something to watch. It's a part of the history of the industry that's important. But I feel like there's just so much better stuff out there. Especially right now, there's so much stuff coming out that I don't know that it's going to hold up to the test of time.
Yeah. Look, Cutie Pie 2. Did you guys watch that one? Oh my God, pissed me off so much. Like,
we did.
Like, you're supposed to be over the miscommunication at the end of the first one, right? You guys were supposed to learn. The whole thing was miscommunication. There was one scene that I thought was really cute. But no, the whole thing was just like, I thought we were over this. I thought we were done.
I think I had tunnel vision because I did not watch it for that because I forgot everything. And I only remember Tudor and singing.
When they're in the bed and they're like...
They were so cute.
They kept trying. They kept failing.
Yeah, they tried. But
I'm gonna try it again.
Oh, he was so cute. Oh my God. I love it.
So what do you guys think about the rewatch value? Like, some shows, and we've talked about the shows that we've rewatched the most and stuff like that, but like, does this keep its entertainment value and engagement when you rewatch it? Is it worth rewatching?
I wouldn't rewatch it because it's not my personal favorite trope.
I just don't think. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think.
Like, it's good to watch once so that you know about it, because, you know, it's referenced in other stuff too, and it, you know, is part of the history. But like, if you've got 12 hours to binge watch a show, choose something else.
Look, just rewatch the scenes where he's singing.
Yeah, go watch edits. There's stuff like that you're missing, Kate.
Because then you get to skip all the annoying miscommunication. You get to skip all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some shows like it's the how will this play out that's partly entertaining, and once you've watched it and you know how it's going to play out, it's less entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Joe Mundy's shows are that way. Where I'm like, it's entertaining to watch the first time, but I don't know that I would rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is a very common thing with their stuff.
I wonder how it will be with the next Prince, because I feel like that one, out of all their shows, has the most potential for rewatch value. But like Bed Friends, what's the Tudor Yam one that's something in the middle?
The Middleman's Love.
Middleman's Love.
That was a weird show.
Hold on. I need to defend them. Because they keep giving them terrible stories.
Yes.
What's up? What's up? I need to talk to Dumandi because what's up? They keep giving them such.
I feel like
Yim keeps playing the same character over and over.
Yeah. I don't feel like their most recent one was that bad. But I had a hard time watching it just because of like where I couldn't access it. I didn't have a streaming platform that had access. I had to find it other ways. The author
Lovely
one.
Writers one.
Yeah, Lovely Writer. But yeah,
I haven't watched it because of that.
Always, yeah,
Yim's characters are always so cringy.
Yeah, they're nerdy and weird. Like, I don't know.
Tamandi
Which, whatever. Like, he's not my favorite anyway, as long as they don't do that to Tudor.
No, I love him, please.
Look, but Tudor does be looking good.
Oh, you know what? They need to give us more older Thai actors so I don't feel so wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I know that he is
Are we going to talk
technically old enough, but he is not old enough for me to look at him the way that I look at him.
He's a 2000s baby, right?
I don't know.
2000s babies.
Wrong century.
Yeah, look, anytime I think of their ages, like if I'm like, oh, they're so attractive, and then I see their age, and then I'm like, they are younger than my younger brother, and he's 7 years younger than me. Like, that's how I gauge age. And I'm just like, oh.
Like, if it starts with a 2, it's a no.
Yeah.
I don't like that trope on a TV show. I definitely don't like it in real life.
you look at Tudor and you're like, no.
Yeah, oh. That's why I'm so glad. That's why I'm so glad that Boom came into the scene. And hopefully he stays on the scene with everything going on, because I need someone hot in their 30s.
Well, on that note,
totally off topic of the show, but
I have nothing else to.
Okay, does anybody have anything else to add besides go listen to all of Nunu's OSTs on it?
I would love for people watching this or listening to this to let us know what tropes in the show they liked and which ones they didn't like. Like what storylines or like kind of cliche ideas. Like, I don't like the promised the parent that I would marry you and then I still fell in love with you. Like, I've seen that in a couple shows and it's not my favorite, but like what does everybody else love or hate? What are you noticing in it? Because I feel like that show relies a lot on different tropes, more so than some other shows.
I always question, what if they didn't end up being gay? And you know how they had this arranged marriage, right?
Yeah, I feel like this show relies heavily on the thought that everybody's gay.
Yeah, I'm just like, what if they weren't gay and now all of a sudden
What
they're
if they're
forced
like,
into
now I
this
have to
marriage?
marry you, but I'm really into this girl.
Like, is there gonna be cheating now? Drama.
I mean, I feel like a larger portion of the population is bi than we realize.
I agree.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
what if they weren't though?
Yeah.
Or what if they're even for like people who are bi, usually it's not like a 50-50.
but if you're open to loving someone, regardless of gender, then it doesn't matter. I don't know.
That's how
Because, like,
I
even if
view
you're like,
it.
it's not 50-50, maybe you're like only
Yeah.
10% leaning toward the same gender. That doesn't mean you couldn't fall in love with them.
For me, I don't really see gender.
Yeah, for me, the same thing. Like, technically, if
Mm-hmm.
we were to go by technicalities, you would probably describe, I'd probably technically be more pansexual,
Mm.
but it's just so much easier to say bi.
Yeah,
That's what I've
me too.
always, that's what I've always like thought of was as bi.
Mhm. Right.
But yeah, what if they didn't? What if they weren't? What if like
What if
their parents
they
just
grew up to both
assumed,
be straight?
or what if one of them was straight and the
What
other
if?
one fell in love?
Okay, remake idea. There's a new conflict on the show, and it's one of them really not liking that idea. Like,
They're like, but we could be like friends.
look, I don't judge you for your sexuality. We can still hang out, but
Also, can my girlfriend come with us?
like there could be
Oh,
arrangements made, like you pay my mortgage and clean my house, and then I go on a date with my girlfriend.
easy.
Yeah.
Each relationship's different.
Right. Whoever you
Yeah.
judge.
I didn't
So
think about that, but like they were so young and their parents are just like, and
Together.
like, what if their parents didn't mean marry? What if they're like, just watch out for him,
yeah, I
just
mean
take
that's
care of him?
kind of how I interpreted it. Was just like, hey, like this is your nong. Like look out for him, take care of him. You
And he's
know,
like, got you, I'll marry him.
I
I
know, right?
understand.
Like that's kind of how I interpreted it. But then I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Like we just wanted you to look out for him, and he's like, yeah, in bed.
I'll look out for him real good.
Take care of him. Oh, I will. I
Don't
will.
worry.
Because like, who thinks about marriage when you're that like? I'm not thinking about who my kids could potentially marry when they're that young. I'm not like arranging stuff like that, but I might like ask their older cousin to like have his back on the playground.
Mm-hmm.
So so many different new things we're learning.
You see that different angles. It's just like, what if?
Yeah.
Like, what if they dated somebody else? Like, you know how they never dated somebody. They were their one and
Yeah.
only. What if they
Okay,
had
so
other people?
they've never dated anyone else, and yet the first NC scene sure seemed like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole premise was supposed to be it was both of their first times.
We're not
You know
getting the
what?
full.
That's not how it goes the first time. Spoiler alert.
And they seemed a little experienced.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they watched a lot, but that doesn't mean you can do a lot.
They're like, pause. We need a break. Put on the show.
What are they
Right.
Okay,
doing?
let's
They're
try
going to
this.
mimic that.
Let's try that. Let's try that.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it was it was good.
Well, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching. Rock tie.
Right.